What's happening, Amas? Dan Lawless here for West Ham Fan TV, and today I'm joined by some special guests. I've got Paul and Johnny from Irish Fan TV. Also, obviously, Johnny does stuff with the Redmen TV, and Paul does stuff with Toffee TV, so it's a real big collaboration. How you doing, guys?
All good, all good. Thanks for having us on very much.
Yeah, no, it's good to
All
have you guys on. Sorry, Paul, I cut you off there, mate.
all good, man. All good. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you guys on. Obviously, I've seen your channel for a while. Obviously, having an Irish background myself and following Ireland and followed both Ireland and England. But when I see what you guys did, it's a good way, obviously living over here, to keep up to date with what's going on in Irish football, and especially with the national team and all the stuff you guys do with that, and obviously the league stuff. So today we're talking about it's a real big issue, and this is why I wanted to get you guys on. It's a sensitive subject. Now, big news came out from Martin O'Neill that Declan Rice is still deciding, he's making a decision on if he wants to officially declare for Ireland or if he's going to declare for England, as he's only played friendlies. Now, this has received a lot of backlash from the hardcore Ireland fans. I mean, just give me, like, when you guys first heard this, like, your thoughts and feelings on it.
I was absolutely shocked because the squad announcement we knew was going to happen on Monday. There'd been some whispers in the media the last little while. Obviously, David Gold had come out before and called him England, an English player, and he knocked it back. And before Rice made his debut for the senior team, there was always a couple of whispers along the line: would he declare for England, etc., etc. But genuinely, up until the weekend just gone by, everyone was just going, it's just a conclusion. It's going to be all sorted now with the Welsh game, and that'll be done and dusted, and we'll move on to the next one. And we were actually, talking about the big talking points coming up was other players that may or may not be involved in the squad. I'm sat in work, and then Paul texts me, Rice isn't in the squad. And genuinely, completely and utterly stumped, because you could not see that coming. We spoke about it. We did a video on our channel on Monday night, just a reaction video to the squad. And I'll repeat the story that I tell there, because it sums up really the way things were, really, and the feelings everyone thought were in the situation. So Rice had made his debut for the senior team. Unusually, after that, a couple of days later, he gone back and he played a game for the under-21s, which is very uncommon to do. Usually when a player makes a breakthrough in the senior squad, that's it. They don't play any more underage football. He'd come back. It was a very dramatic game. We scored a 95th minute winner. Rice went nuts. He was kissing the badge, throwing, giving it socks to the crowd. He'd belted out the Irish anthem beforehand. Even speaking to him in the mix zone afterwards, it was like, oh yeah, I'm Irish. That's why I'm here, etc., etc. So everyone thought it was a foregone conclusion. And then this bombshell, as I said, I'll let you in, Paul. When you text me, I could not believe it.
Yeah, well, that was the most annoying thing, is when that time we were covering the under-21 game. We were in Tala, and Ireland scored literally the last kick of the game, and Declan Rice was the one leading the celebrations, running over. He was grabbing the jerseys. The jerseys were all going to the crowd. They were kissing the badges. And then after the game, he was coming out saying, I'm delighted for all the Irish people who came here today, and they could all go home with a smile on their face. And he came out and he said he wanted to captain the squad after the USA game. Everyone's thinking, oh, okay, he's getting comparisons to Paul McGrath and all this, and it's nice to hear him talking like this. You're pretty confident in the fact that he's going to play for Ireland. And then he was obviously, he's gone, made his decision now to deliberate, and a lot of Irish fans can't really get their heads around it, because he came out and made all these comments about how he's going to play for Ireland, and there's no decision to be made, and all the stuff with David Gold was a load of crap. And then you come out and you see David Gold saying again there about the Bobby Moore situation. And, that's really after angering a lot of Irish fans, because, as I said, ex-players and stuff like that are coming out saying, he's taken 3 caps off an Irishman who could have played in those games rather than him, So we're just very frustrated as a nation in regards to it because of that, mainly.
It's an interesting one. It's almost like a problem that you're always going to have with this, like, dual nationality, or where you are eligible to play for these different clubs, where it's like, okay, so you can play for this club as well, and you're weighing up between probably getting more game time, but then there's a possibility of everything that comes with playing for England, which can be a poison chalice with the pressure and all of that stuff. Now, obviously, I think what's not helped him is he's come out and kissed the badge and said all this stuff, and this is the thing, like, as in club football, as you guys know, it's something football players do a lot. They come out, and like we had Dimitri Payet, you come out, you give it the cross dammer celebration. He said it's like a love story, it's like a family. I love it here and all of this, and then he left, the following January, and that was it. So it's like, it's almost like you can't get too wrapped up in what they said, because it is kind of like there's a lot of PR in what they say a lot of the time, and they can never give their true feelings. And I suppose with Rice, and this is the thing, like, for me, I'm always, like I said, I want to see Ireland do well, I want to see England do well, but I'm always club over country, and I want what's best for Rice. Now, personally, my viewpoint is what's best for Rice is probably sticking with Ireland in terms of playing international games. I reckon he could be good enough to get in the England squad, but just the experience, and I could honestly see him captaining Ireland one day and having that responsibility. And I think that could be good for him. But I think he's looking at as well, like, he wants to get in the World Cup, where Ireland missed out on it, so he might have more opportunity to play in the big competitions. And realistically, I think his nan's Irish. Is that right? His nan's Irish. So
yeah, yep.
Really, and the sad truth of it, growing up, is he's probably grown up as an England fan as a kid, and probably saw himself playing for England from a young age, and this has sort of come to him. And now, who wouldn't play for Ireland? You'd fall in love with it. Like, you'd fall in love with the people, the nation, like, just playing for it, and just the love that was given to him. So he's probably fallen in love with it being there. But at the same time, his agent, who I think his agent is a shrewd negotiator and a tough negotiator, in terms of, we're still trying to get him to sign a new deal ourselves at West Ham. Now, there's talk about him wanting in the range of like between 30 and 40k. We've kind of lowballed him for what he's worth, but he wants quite a bit, and he's being quite a tough negotiator. So I think a lot of it is coming from his agent and saying, look, if my client plays for England, that raises his profile. Maybe we can either get him to sign for the likes of a Man City or something one day. He's probably just thinking of that. So you have Gareth Bale. Obviously, he can play for England and Wales, where he grew up in Wales. He identifies as Welsh. He's a Welshman, and he's obviously chose to play for Wales. And I think obviously that's similar with Declan Rice, growing up, born and raised in London, and same with his parents. So he probably feels a little bit more of connection in that regard. But obviously, he's probably fallen in love with Ireland, playing for him internationally, and he's got man of the match and stuff like that. If he was to officially come and say, right, no, I'm Irish, I'm going to declare for Ireland, would you guys take him back? Would you guys be happy with that, or would you say no?
Yeah. Again, we spoke about this again Monday night. I'd be lying if I said this hasn't dampened not the expectations, but dampened all the big hope. You don't realise, because we're, let's be honest, we're a smaller football nation. We don't get many big players. We've had a couple of superstars over the years, but by and large, we have a lot of championship players in our team, or bottom level, lower league, Premier League players. So there was huge hype when Rice started making his breakthrough for Miles at the time, for playing for you guys, and he was touted as the next big thing, the next Paul McGrath. People were debating where was his best position going to be. Was it going to be midfield? Was it going to be in defence? That's a debate for another day. But and people talking about the next Paul McGrath, as I said, the next Irish captain, really, really huge hope and expectation, and and talking about building the team around him for years to come. He has, whatever happens now, he's severely tarnished that. There's a lot of people, you just have to look at the backlash. Now, I know social media isn't always the best gauge of people's reactions or whatever, but if you just have a little quick on there, a little read through, search his name, you will see there's a lot of people that would almost tell him, oh, fair enough, you want to play, I don't want you anymore, that sort of way. And a lot of former ex-footballers as well have come out and been very vocal on it. My stance in it, yes, he has tarnished it a little for me, because it's because of what happened before as well, the whole badge kiss and the whole everything that he said previously. But to answer your question, long story short, reluctantly, if he shows the right attitude and says, sorry, I've had a little wobble, blah blah blah, I've thought about it, I've played underage football all the way through. I class myself as being an Irish background, etc. And he shows the commitment to the clause. You would have to take him back simply because of he's a quality footballer.
You got to look at it like you have players like Damien Duff coming out and saying, if he was to come back, he's a young lad. Voices can get into his head, and I still would be very reluctant to have him back. I feel like, and I said it the other night on a video we did, that if he does come back, there'd be no talk of him getting a captaincy. He would have to put in a serious amount of man of the match performances, or score a really high profile goal to take us to the next level, or a massive result for people to really get behind him again. He hasn't done himself any favours with his own teammates. Obviously, look at James McLean's come out and criticise him publicly, and Irish legends Robbie Keane and Paul McGrath have all come out and said it's a disgrace. But anyone who thinks from a football point of view, regardless of what he's done as a human being, it is wrong what he's done. But in terms of from a footballing standpoint, if he was to come back, he'd be our best player. There's no doubt about it.
It's an interesting one. Like you said, a lot of voices are probably getting into his head. He's got Southgate turning his head. He's probably got his agent. Like I said, comments from David Gold. There are probably other people that are close to him that are saying, maybe even friends and stuff, saying, "Oh, you want to play for England," and stuff like that. So it's like it's been at the young age. It's hard to he's trying to think what's the best decision. He's thinking about the rest of his career. So. Yeah, it's one of them things of it's sort of understandable that he's getting in this position. So if he does come back, then hopefully he would be forgiven. And it's interesting because from a West Ham perspective, I think a lot of West Ham fans, we want to see our players, I suppose, there's a sort of pride. You want to see your players playing on the biggest stage. You want to see people talking about them in great in a great context and the papers and all of that. What a lot of Spurs fans have been getting with their players in the England team. So I think that's why a lot of West Ham fans, that obviously aren't Ireland fans, want to see him there. But yeah, it's if he can get in there. And West Ham players, traditionally have been overlooked in. Which is funny because, last time we had loads of West Ham players in the squad. We won the bloody World Cup, funny enough. You think Martin O'Neill is someone who can get the best out of him and develop his career?
I think Martin O'Neill is a very good man manager. But the problem being, and you can talk about development and all, there's development's ultimately going to come from club level. International managers, unless they qualify for a tournament, don't get more than a couple of days with the team, So I think you look at Jose Mourinho right now, okay, and people are saying his tactics are outdated. Martin O'Neill's tactics are outdated by about 10 years as well. So, the game is evolving, and, ideally when Martin O'Neill was, flirting with other clubs and stuff like that, a lot of people wanted it, but you can't, it's only off the top of my head there, a lot of people welcomed O'Neill back after going off, flirt with clubs, and then decided ultimately, I can come back and, be manager of Ireland. And he was kind of welcomed back as if he was like the Lord and Saviour, which in a similar situation, Declan Rice is being lauded as the Lord and Saviour of a player for us. And personally, I think he's very good, but I don't think he's a Gareth Bale going to carry a nation type of thing like Bale does for Wales,
Yeah, not world class, not like whereas Bell is world class, but he's good and he's still improving. I mean,
he is very young.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he had a man of the match performance against Wimbledon for us in the cup. He was outstanding again, and he still has a few mistakes in him, but he's still growing. So I think he'll be an asset. I think I can see him down the line potentially being able to get into that England squad, depending on obviously where West Ham and where his career goes. You never know. And it's such a decisive time for him. He really needs to decide. So I'll be looking at it very closely, and whatever he does, obviously as a West Ham fan, I wish him luck. And we love Declan Rice. We love our academy players and things like that. So yeah, we'll see. I'd be interested to see what you guys have to say when it does become official. So I'll definitely be checking out your channel, and I'd definitely encourage everyone else to go. Do you guys want to tell people what you got coming up? I mean, you told me some interesting stuff that was kind of West Ham related, but I don't know if you can announce it, but if you can, sort of
Yeah,
West Ham.
should be fine. So I'll be going over on Tuesday to do a video with John Hartson, obviously a former West Ham player. And if you guys wanted to get involved in asking them a question or something, I just tweet into our page and let us know. We'll be doing a kind of my favourite football moments and stuff like that. So if there's a West Ham question you'd like to get in, feel free to tweet us in. And obviously we'll be doing a Ireland and Wales preview with them as well. And then obviously I'll be over in Cardiff myself at the game and stuff like that. So if there's any Irish West Ham fans or Welsh that see us and want to come over and get an interview with us, feel free, because we'll be around the square and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic. I mean, I definitely encourage anyone watching to go and check out their channel on Irish Football Fans TV and check out their video on the Declan Rice situation. Obviously, they break it more in depth, and definitely check that out. And obviously, we've got a lot of Irish West Ham fans, so keep up to date with those guys. And
there's a video with Matt Holland as well on there.
Nice. So it's these guys, and they get a lot of player interviews and stuff like that. So who knows? Maybe if he does declare for Ireland, we'll get to see a Declan Rice interview on there. You know, God knows the club won't let us anywhere near the players. I'll tell you that much. So yeah,
we got an email turning us down a couple of weeks ago. I wonder why.
Yeah, it all makes sense now, doesn't it?
It all becomes clear. Thank you guys so much for coming on the channel. Like I said, I've followed you guys for a while now, so it's good to finally find a way with it. Ireland and West Ham can connect. Obviously, not in the happiest of scenarios, but yeah, it's nice to meet up with you guys. So subscribe to them, subscribe to this channel. Let us know your thoughts on the Declan Rice situation. You know, let's keep it nice as possible. And one thing left to say: come on, you Irons.